Hi guys, Gordon here. Okay, let's illustrate this thing with some actual physical objects. First of all, I put a piece of paper here on my table. This represents the ground. Here's the ground. And here's a Victor airway. Here's Victor 27. It's running north to south and south to north, okay? That's a ground feature. That airway is predicated on its location over the ground. Here's the air. I got a nice piece of clear, semi-clear plexiglass here. The air may be moving relative to the ground, which is a phenomenon we call wind, right? So if the air is moving this way, we would have to say that we have a wind from the west. That is, the air is moving across the ground, right? So now let's see what airplanes have to do to deal with this. First, let's take the situation where there's no wind. First of all, in order to be able to do this, I have to put the plastic on the ground to make it physically possible. But just picture that the plastic is up about here at 10,000 feet, okay? So here's the plastic, here's the air on the ground. I think we agree, and here's two airplanes here. I think we agree that if there is no wind, in other words, this air mass is not moving relative to the ground, and airplane A here is flying from south to north, and airplane B here is flying from north to south, and they're following the airway, they're going to be flying right along like that. They'll go right over each other, and of course their contrails and their wakes are going to be going straight up and down with respect to each other. They'll be perfectly parallel. I think we all agree on that. Okay, now let's take a situation, let's put in some wind. And the goal here is we want the airplanes to follow Victor 27, okay? So let's take the airplane here, the purple airplane, and I'm going to introduce some wind, and let's see what the airplane has to do through the air in order to follow Victor 27. All right, so here's the airplane, and here goes the wind. And that's the path that the airplane had to take through the air in order to follow Victor 27. We would agree? Now let's take the other airplane, the green airplane. We're starting from exactly the same point. Both airplanes starting off directly over Victor 27, and here we go. So here's the other airplane, and the wind is moving again from west to east. And off we go, and there's the airplane following Victor 27. Well, let's see what the airplanes did in the air. Look, this airplane went from here to here through the air. This airplane went from here to here through the air. In other words, this airplane sees traffic at 1 o'clock converging, and the traffic will cross, and off they go. These airplanes are flying different paths through the air. Through the air, they are not flying parallel to each other. They're flying completely different paths through the air. Note that the airplanes are not doing this. They're not flying sideways. They're flying in a normal attitude and normal airplane configuration as you would every day, just flying in a straight line through the air. And this airplane is flying like this. It is not flying, I'm in the way. It is not flying sideways like this. Let's try it this way. It is not flying sideways. It is flying a straight path through the air. No rudders, no crabbing, no sideways, anything. But that's what it took for those two airplanes in that air mass to fly simultaneously along that airway. That's what happened. So that's one airplane's path. That's the other airplane's path. That's what the airplanes are doing with respect to each other in the air mass that they're in order to follow Victor 27.